God! Hey skaters, I'm Dirty Deborah Harry with the Dirty School of Skate Sugar Roller Skates, and I'm here today at South Bay Skate Kids and Adults today to talk about how to drop in on a skate ramp on roller skates. Today's video is brought to you by S1 Helmets and Protective Gear, because you know that's what you need to wear if you're going to be dropping in on a ramp, okay? You're going to need to wear your helmet, you're going to need to be wearing your wrist guards, your elbow pads, and your knee pads. All right, skaters, again, we're at South Bay Skate Kids, which is also for adults, but we're gonna go ahead and go inside so we can drop in on some ramps. If you've never done this and you're a beginner skater, you're new to skate park skating, watch this video because we are gonna take it step by step. In fact, we are going to baby step it, okay? So if you are afraid to do this, good, you should be afraid. No problem, we're gonna take it step by step. You are in good hands with Dirty, okay? Let's go ahead and go inside and get started. All right, skaters, so if you're going to start thinking about dropping in, generally, the experience for most skaters is dropping in is kind of scary, right? Or just straight up terrifying. Okay, so let's not even think about dropping in at first. Let's think about the things that we have to already know how to do and be comfortable with doing before we drop in. Over the years, have seen people try to drop in too early. And what ends up happening is that they're at the top, they drop in over the coping, and they get into this space and they don't know what to do, okay? They don't know what to do once they hit this space. So here's the deal. You gotta at least know how to pump back and forth. So you've gotta be able to if you already know how to pump back and forth, when you get to this spot, this is almost like dropping in right here. Okay, so if you're comfortable already doing this, then dropping in isn't that big of a step. When you go to drop in, we've got to figure out which foot is going to be your most dominant foot. So when you pump forward, you pump back, the foot that is in the back for this, or when you skate in the skate parks and you have your staggered stance, whichever one you prefer. For me, it's the left foot and back, right foot and forward. I'm super comfortable like this. I feel really strong like this. So when I get up on the coping, I'm gonna rest my left foot on the coping. I'm gonna step in with my right. You gotta already know how to pump back and forth so that when you do drop in, it's not a surprise to you. Now let's go ahead and first, before we drop in over the coping, let's just try a roll in and see if we can get it to feel right, okay? Come on. All right, skaters, so sometimes the challenge of dropping in, even if we're just gonna roll in here where there is no coping, is all of a sudden you're standing up high. God knows how you got up here. You probably crawled. You're just climbing up, hand over fist, trying to get your hook a leg, jump up here, and now you're already up here, and now you're like 10 feet tall. This is something that we have to address, because once you're standing up this tall, everything looks so big, okay? But don't worry, with the proper body posture, you're gonna be just fine, all right? So remember before when we talked about your dominant leg, right? So for me, my dominant is my left. That's the one I like to carry the weight on when I am skating in a staggered stance. Okay, so what I'm going to do is approach the roll over part. I'm going to just have my leg peek out just a little bit, like I'm gonna let the front wheels just start to just right over. You're gonna have to take a little bit of leap of faith, but be calm about it, okay? You're gonna take your body weight down like this, okay? As soon as I feel my front trucks starting to roll over, I'm going to switch my body weight from back here It's over here just holding me up like this to this leg. Okay, I'm gonna, okay, so realistically, all I did was peek my front truck over, weight is still on the back foot, and then look ahead, transfer my body weight to my front foot, stay low and step in. When I step in, I want to have close proximity, not only in width but in length. I don't want to have one foot stepping out really far wide. I don't want it reaching forward. I just want to transition the weight from the back foot to the front, real nice and easy, okay? So you guys, people drop in a little bit differently. For the most part, it's the same, but there's little tweaks. For me, like when I approach anything that I have to drop in on, I can't help it, you guys. I always have to get at it a little bit sideways. I just think that it's a holdover from me from the beginning, where standing completely straight and then looking down was like way too terrifying for me. So I went at it kind of like, There are different ways to drop in, and some people do prefer to be on a toe stop. And I think a toe stop, because this will keep you from moving, right? If I put my feet just straight ahead, I'm gonna roll. Some people prefer to be on a toe stop, hook the coping, and then step in. I just prefer my foot at a slight angle, left foot over the coping, drop in. Okay, so my weight's back here, and I would go 1, 2, 3, turn my foot, let it creep on over. This leg is ready, it's holding the weight, but it's going to boom right there. Did you see how close in proximity my feet were when my right foot stepped in? It's as if my wheels are lining up. The front truck of my left foot was lining up with the back truck of my right foot. Just like that, that staggered stance that we like to use outdoors and in the parks. Let's look at it again. So I want you to see where the skates line up. So again, I go at it, you know, scared little baby style, sideways. I get as close to the edge as possible. I'm like this, and now look to where you see my skate trucks line up when I step in. Did you see that? Back truck, front truck lined up together, keeps the proximity real in tight, doesn't let me get out of control either way, okay? So let's talk a little bit about our upper body. When I drop in, my upper body does a little bit of a counterbalance to help the lower body, because what you don't want to do is stand up too straight or lean back, because you're going to fall backwards. I find that using my arms really helps with the counterbalance as you're descending and keeps you upright and on your skates. Okay, so when I step in to roll in, I put my left foot on the coping, or the first foot that's rolling in, and my right arm in front, and then I switch. Did I forget to tell you to bend your knees? Because I'm going to need you to bend your knees. All right, get down low. Again, here's how I start. I have my left foot in front, I've got my right arm in front, left arm is in the back, and switch. I'm looking where I want to be, and then I look a little bit downward, all right? I've got my arms out to my side, I lower my body weight. I've got my weight on my back foot, I put a little bit, just a tiny bit of weight on this front foot. I'm trying to get this front truck over. I have my right leg in back, my right arm in front, and as I push my weight forward, I switch. You guys, as soon as you do drop in, stay low. What happens is once we drop in, we get so excited that we kind of want to stand up and celebrate, but that's the last thing you want to do, okay? So be calm, get to the edge, drop your body weight, lean just a tiny bit forward. Put your arms out. It's your dominant foot over the roll or onto the coping. I put my opposite arm in front, lean forward, and switch. generally, once we start using the coping, it lifts the fear factor up a little bit because you feel like you're gonna get hung up on that coping, okay? So do as much drilling on this roll in till you feel super comfortable. You can roll in, you can pump back and forth, you can carve. I don't want you to rush it to the point where you get on with the coping and you're trying to drop in and it's so terrifying that you never want to do it again, okay? So if this is where you need to be, honey, this is where you need to be, and it's okay. Okay, so now that we can do it rolling in, let's do it on the coping. So now, as you see, we have coping, and we're gonna be dropping in. So remember, you already know how to pump back and forth. You already feel comfortable with your staggered stance because you've been practicing, okay? You already feel comfortable going forward. You feel comfortable faking. No problem, you've got that. So you can drop in because again, you've already practiced rolling in and it's not that big of a step up. It just feels like it's a huge step, okay? You are going to be fine. All right, skaters, so here's how it goes. I approach the coping just a little bit sideways so I'm not moving back and forth, right? I step as close to the edge as possible. My body weight is down. I go ahead and put my front truck right over the coping, just like we did in the roll-in. It's not anything different, okay? I got my weight on my right foot because I'm hooking with my left. As you see, I've got my right arm coming forward and I step and switch. Did you see me switch my arms? You guys, I'm not sure if other people do this, but this was instrumental to me when dropping in. When I first learned how to drop in, I had the instructions of dirty. You just gotta do it. Those were the instructions that I was given, literally. And I thought to myself, no, I don't. I don't have to do anything. And this seems really super scary and dangerous. So the first time that I dropped in, it was pretty high, right? First time I dropped in, I wiped out. I mean, I wiped out hard. And they were like, well, that's just what happens. And I was thinking, no, I don't think that's just what happens. But I managed to gather myself and I got back up there. And the second time I dropped in, it was like butter. And the person was like, yeah, woo. And I was like, no, yeah, woo. That was an aberration. That wasn't supposed to happen. I don't even know what I'm doing. Third time I do it, wipe out. Fourth time, barely survive. Fifth time, butter. I don't even know what's going on. I'm so confused. Sixth time, I just noped out. I went home and I told myself there has got to be a technique to this. It can't be just reliant upon, let's stand up on something high, roll our foot over and just say a quick prayer and hope it all works out. No, there's actually body mechanics to it. And one of the things that I really discovered was I was like, you know what, time out. I'm not gonna do this big one. I'm gonna find a small one and I'm gonna do it 100 times until it's good enough where I think I can take it higher. But you guys, the aha moment came for me and I hope it works out for you. I swear to God, it was the upper body. I stand like this, I put my foot over and as I put weight on it, I drew my right arm in front, my right foot is back. And as soon as I stepped in, I switched arms. So I went from here to here. And I was like, it's just counterbalance. That's all it is. Because the foot, we are already doing the foot movement. We're already doing that. It was the upper body that was key to me. So when I went back, I got on a fairly small ramp and I was just like, okay, sideways step. 1, 2, 3, step in. And it was the arms. So for me, that was key, and I hope to God that helps you. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do it again. There's never a point in my skate life where this is casual for me. I just roll up here and be like, yeah, I'm be dropping in, no problem. I have a healthy, functioning mind, I think, because every time I get up here, I'm like, all right, this is just a little bit crazy. Good. You two, we're in good company. Okay, put this over. Right arm's in front. I'm looking ahead, switch, and get down. Every time I do this, I'm like, all right, we can do this, right? Get up to it nice and think. Again, my right arm's already ready, like we're going. Right here, and I switch arms. Right arm's in front. I'm looking ahead, switch, and get downs. I really hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to bring more of these kinds of videos to you because I absolutely love the skate park, and so, you know, I hope you do too, but I want you to stay safe. So take these instructions step by step and you should be good. All right, skaters, now you know what you need to do. Go practice.